Good day, students. You're welcome to our biology class for this week. And the topic we're looking at is sexually transmitted infections. Remember that last week we discussed human development, and under that topic we looked at the meaning of adolescence and also the meaning of puberty. We went further to look at the physical changes that take place in boys and in girls during puberty. Also, we looked at the meaning of menstruation and menstrual cycle, as well as the ways girls can take care of their mental hygiene. Let's now come back to the topic for this week, which is sexually transmitted infections. We'll begin by looking at the objectives of our lesson for the week. At the end of this lesson, every one of you should be able to state the meaning of STIs, mention some common STIs, identify ways of contracting STIs, state the effects of STIs, and discuss the ways of preventing STIs. Sexually transmitted infections, or STIs, are infectious diseases or illnesses that are passed from one person to another through sexual intercourse or contact. STIs are also referred to as sexually transmitted diseases or venereal diseases. Habitual sexual practices between unmarried people are on a daily increase in our society. This also brings with it all the risks of contracting sexually transmitted diseases that have been on the increase over the years. A person can have sexual intercourse just once, even for the first time, and become infected. Since the fall of man in the Garden of Eden, sin has created heartache and suffering for human beings. I'm sure you all know that according to God's word, it's a sinful act for an unmarried boy or man to engage in sexual intercourse with a girl or a woman that he is not married to. Common examples of STIs. There are several types of sexually transmitted infections, but we'll be looking at some of the common examples, as well as their causative agents, that is the pathogen responsible for causing the disease. First on our list here we have gonorrhea, which is caused by a bacterium known as Neisseria gonorrhea. Also, there's another type of STI called syphilis. It's also caused by a bacterium. The name of the bacterium is Treponema pallidum. Then we have chlamydia, which is also caused by a bacterium called Chlamydia trachomatis. Then we have herpes. It's a viral disease caused by the herpes virus. Then we have hepatitis B, which is caused by the hepatitis B virus. It's very important for us to know that there are different types of hepatitis disease. We have hepatitis A, B, C, D, and E. Hepatitis B is the only sexually transmitted infection of all the types of hepatitis disease. Then we have candidiasis, which is caused by a protozoa called Candida albicans. Then we have HIV/AIDS caused by the HIV virus. Common symptoms of STIs. Sexually transmitted infections often don't cause any signs or symptoms, so it is common to be infected and not know it. That said, if you do get symptoms, they will typically include one or more of the following. Number 1, abnormal discharge from your penis or vagina, itching, or general irritation. Secondly, there could be a burning feeling when you urinate. Number 3, a rash or sores on or around your genitals. Number 4, unusual bleeding not associated with your period. That's for the girl. Pain and swelling in your testicles for boys or men. If left untreated, curable and incurable sexually transmitted infections may persist for years and can cause all sorts of severe and potentially life-threatening health problems. Ways of contracting STIs. Now, we'll look at the ways through which STIs are contracted. First on our list is through unprotected sexual intercourse with someone who is infected with an STI. Sharing sharp, unsterilized skin piercing instruments such as needles and razor blade with an infected person. Transfusion of unscreened blood of an infected person. Then from an infected mother to a baby during pregnancy and childbirth. Also, STIs can be contracted through blood contact during accidents. Effects of STIs. Below are some of the effects of sexually transmitted infections. Number 1, STIs damage the heart and blood vessels. They may lead to infertility in males and females. They cause anxiety, depression, anger, fear, and embarrassment. STIs can result in death of the individual if not treated. Burning or painful urination. Unusual discharge of odor from the genitals. Being infected with an STI that causes open sore on the genital increases the risk of contracting HIV. Prevention of STIs. Having looked at the causes, the symptoms, and the ways of contracting, the effects of STIs, and also the ways of contracting STIs, it's very important for us to look at the ways of preventing STIs. Number 1, and very importantly, is abstinence from premarital sex. Secondly, avoid the use of unscreened blood for transfusion. Being faithful to one's uninfected partner. Avoid alcohol and other hard substances. Correct use of condoms can also help to prevent the spread of STIs. Condoms are materials usually made up of rubber. It's a sheet of material made of rubber that is worn either by the male or female or even both of the partners during sexual intercourse, not only to prevent unwanted pregnancy but also it helps to prevent the spread of STIs in case one of the partners is already infected. Vaccines can also be administered to prevent partners from contracting certain STIs such as hepatitis B and herpes virus. As we conclude our class for today, I'd like us to go back to the objectives of our lesson. We said that at the end of the lesson, every student should be able to state the meaning of STIs. We said that STIs are infectious diseases or illnesses that are passed from one person to another through sexual intercourse or contact. And we said that they are also referred to as sexually transmitted diseases or venereal diseases. Also, one of the objectives of our lesson states that at the end of the lesson, you should be able to mention some common STIs. I'm sure you still remember that examples of STIs include HIV/AIDS, gonorrhea, syphilis, hepatitis B, etc. We also said that you should be able to identify ways of contracting STIs, which you've been able to look at, the effects of STIs, and also the ways of preventing STIs. It's very important for us to bear in mind that we are not too young to contract sexually transmitted infection, provided an individual is sexually active. There's a high risk of that individual contracting sexually transmitted infection. The surest way of preventing ourselves from contracting STIs is total abstinence from premarital sex. If you have further questions to ask, you could reach me with your question through the portal, and be rest assured that all your questions would be attended to. You can also download the note on the portal. Thank you very much, everyone. Make sure you stay safe. See you in the next class. Bye.